hope we're live, and otherwise we'll redo the intro after that. Doesn't really matter, anyways. Once again, a new podcast today here. With me, of course, myself, Bobo Jack, my good friend Bobo Joe, on the screen, depending on how you're looking at the screen, left or right, I guess. And then today we have a crazy special guest with rum, cokes, and whatnot. Izzy Mitchell from 7am. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having taking the time to be on this insanely popular podcast.
Yeah, first guest from the UK.
True.
First guest outside of the Benelux, we might even say.
English just for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It'd be pretty awkward otherwise. I would have acknowledged and nodded, so.
All right, sounds great. So basically, I don't know how much Joe or Jan has explained to you, Izzy, the idea behind the podcast, and to everyone watching, to everyone who's new. We have a couple of people from mainly 7am here. What up, 7am?
Oh,
they're all here for. They're all here for you.
By the way, Bobo Jack, it sounds like you're in a sort of a bubble. I think with your microphone. Is that possible?
No, that's impossible.
Your voice is buttery smooth.
Buttery smooth? Damn,
yeah.
Bro. You know what? While I check my stuff, you can explain to everybody what we're going to do today. Also, they're now going to see my Discord. Go for it.
It's amazing. No, so first, before I explain everything, why don't you tell everyone who doesn't know, and it's a crime if they don't, who you are? Like, very short summary. Who is Izzy Mitchell?
I am Izzy. I am senior management at 7am. Deal mostly with brand and content. So anything that goes with the 7am logo goes through me first of all. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So everything has the approved by Izzy stamp on it if it's going out there for 7am. All right.
For sure.
That's great. So we'll see. Today you kind of can do the same, but this time with a champion. We're gonna, of course, talk about Ekko today, and we're gonna give him a little bit of a review. I can see that we have Exodus in the chat as well. He was here to review one of the champions and rate it at the end a while ago. And we're gonna rate it on some different criteria. We're gonna rate it on how he looks. We're gonna rate it on how fun he is to play, and we're also gonna rate him on his amazing lore.
He's amazing.
Or
something
not
I don't know
amazing
too much
either.
about, so I'm hoping you guys can help me with that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice little story time for everyone, but not too long because then everyone falls asleep. So don't worry about that. So that's basically what we're gonna do. Each time, every one of us is going to give a score on 5, and at the end we all have given a score on 15. And then we take the middle and post it in the ranked tier list of all the champions that we have reviewed.
The tier list, which up until now is still being led by Gangplank, which, Exodus has... he's a big fan, and he says GP has a record of the best rated champ, which is correct. And it is correct. He is the best rated champ. Up until now, we've only done 5, so it's not that crazy of an achievement, Exodus, so hold your horses. And Ekko can just really easily surpass Gangplank today. Aside from that, we've seen Silas, Aatrox, LeBlanc, and Volibear. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what Ekko can bring to the table.
But his fate is partially in your hands.
That's very true.
But you can give him zeros on everything if you want. It's absolutely your opinion, subjectively. You don't have to care what anyone thinks. If you say he's bad, he's bad. If you say he's wonderful, he's wonderful.
Yeah,
we'll see.
He will be partly wonderful because me and Bobo Joe will of course also have our little say, and if we say he's not wonderful, well then he might not be. We'll have to see.
All right, okay. Bobo Jack, first criteria.
Am I the first criteria? I'll say what the first criterion is. So first of all, we're gonna start off breezy and cheesy with basically his looks. The man is sexy or not, basically, is what it comes down to. So that's everything
Or
from...
does he look cool?
Or just does he
That's
look
fine.
cool? That's the thing
Hit
as
that
well.
one.
So basically everything that goes from, you know, the classic skin to every skin that he has to emote spams, the way his abilities look, you know, everything that you
Splash
can...
art.
Splash art. Yeah.
How does he
Everything,
look in cinematics? Whatever you want about the visuals and the looks of the champ.
everything that you can do with your eyes, basically, is that. And
Okay.
Ekko kind of hot, 10 out of 10. Thanks, Yoni.
Biased in the chat.
Thanks, bro.
Just a little bit. The mid laner there.
Oh, yeah, of course, the mid laner, yeah. So, I'll just kick it off myself. You know, as a... I used to really like to play Ekko. I still do, but for some reason I just stopped playing him. I have no idea why. But part of the reason I like playing him was because he just looks friggin' awesome. You know, he has the mohawk, the 10-foot high mohawk, which is juicy. He has the white hair. He has some weird... I don't know what the weapon even is that he uses. So if anyone can help me out with that, that would be sick. You know, the
Well, it looks kind of like a
emotes...
sword, right?
I can, but it's for the lore.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
We'll see that later. Yeah, and his emote with the which I voiced
That is
clearly.
great.
I clearly voiced that one. Yeah, it's just altogether really really nice, and his skins are pretty sick as well. The Project Ekko, the Sandstorm Ekko, I like him overall. Like his looks are pretty sick, and his abilities are really cool. The fact that he just morphs back in time on his ult and all that. Not gonna talk about chromas too much because I don't like chromas. Yeah, and then he has the legacy, the SKT1, the Trick or Treat Ekko. Oh, should I not have said the fact that I don't like chromas?
The chroma hater.
Of course, I'm a chroma hater.
hater. Bubblegum Zack, man. What's wrong with little pink chroma there?
Okay, we'll make an exception for him there. So yeah, just kicking it off, going first here on the looks. I'm just gonna make it clean and simple and give him a 4.5
Whoa.
out of 5. By the way, this is not out of 10.
Heavy hitter.
I don't know why we're not doing 10, but we've never done it, so we're not gonna start today. And then I'm just gonna hand it over to whoever feels like they want to, Joe. Maybe
I want to know what Izzy is thinking about Ekko right now.
Well, I think his score's kind of dependent on what skin you use. I don't really play him. I'm an ARAM player, so to say, oh yeah, what is it like in the main game? I couldn't tell you. I think skin wise, the true damage skin is really cool because like the ether thing that like follows him. I don't know what that's called. With the true damage skin is really really cool, and the visuals with the project skin, I think are really cool as well. That's really noticeable, and when they had him in TFT in that skin as well, was just really really cool. So say an out of 5. I think about other champs. Say about 4. I think that's fair.
Okay,
Correct.
Right?
seems fair. I mean,
Right.
for someone who only plays ARAM and so doesn't always play Ekko, I feel like a 4 is really juicy.
I think
I
Ekko
think
can
I've
be
played
happy
him,
with
like,
a 4 from
twice.
Izzy, though.
I mean, he did good. He's doing really well, dude. Boba Joe,
But his,
can you? Sorry,
his
Izzy,
back
go ahead.
animation on the true damage skin is really cool with the Escher stairs
I haven't
and
seen
the true damage music as well.
True Damage music is cool. Yeah, I haven't seen the skin being played that often. I think because Ekko just, for some reason, in my terrible elo, doesn't get played that much. But yeah, I like him in general, and he's got 2 big scores now. So maybe Boa Joe, you're the one to break tradition here.
Yeah, I might. No, I think he looks cool.
Don't do it.
Cool. He's a cool dude. 'Cause
Don't do it.
we still have the same problem that we had in the past with Gangplank and such and LeBlanc. They are only human after all, so there is only so much that you can do design-wise with a champion that is just a human. That being said, for a human, he's really cool. He has the smooth look, the sort of
But
like
the light sword. Yoni says humans are lit. So I mean,
yeah, humans are lit, but are they as cool as Shyvana that can turn into a dragon, for example? Like, just saying. Anyway, I'm gonna give like a personal anecdote, and only Boba Jack will know this because he was there and he knows me in real life. I once cosplayed as Ekko, actually.
that's true.
I don't even know.
Pictures, or it wasn't, or it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was like super bad
I think we have.
giga budget cosplay. It was very terrible. Nobody recognized it. It was painful for everyone involved. And with that in my mind, I'm just gonna give him a 3.5 out of 5. I feel like he's cool for a human, but not up there. Yeah.
He's cool for a human. That sounds terrible. That sounds
Yeah,
sounds
but like
awful.
In League, you have so much cool stuff.
That's like saying, "No, you're doing good." For you. That's
That's what I'll say if I ever have to review you. But
this is the worst.
Ooh.
I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't like it. Okay, but I mean,
Well-
3.5 is fine. 3.5 is it's up there. It's fine. I mean, he's although he's human, but I mean, is he just normal human? Like, for example, Garen's human, right? He's a dude he runs forward with a sword. Ekko can
He's
teleport
kind of a
in
beast,
time.
yeah, but that's his device. It's not like his power.
Okay, Mr. Lore. I don't know.
If you look at him, you see that he pulls the thingy and then goes back in time, so you don't even have to know the lore.
He's divine. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't look at the particle effects apparently enough, or not in detail. The pixels aren't really.
Well, you're looking at your other screen when we play League, so that's normal.
That's very true. Leaguing while alt tabbing ensures iron.
Yeah, exactly. Lock that iron border in.
Let's
before
go,
it's too
baby.
late.
That's the way to go, of course. Okay, so he's doing okay up till now. Got some decent scores on the looks, and of course, looks are the least of his worries because arguably the most important section of this champion analysis, which is very arbitrary, of course, is his gameplay. How he feels, how strong he is, how strong he used to be, how strong he's gonna be, if he fits into the meta or not, and if he doesn't, maybe he can once again. Is he a niche pick? All that jazz,
And is he fun to play?
Is he fun to play?
She
Is right. That's sorry. That's terrible. Sorry, that's just awful. Yeah, that's
To be expected.
very very much, and that's where Vinny joins the chat and says, "Is he fun to play as well?" All
And he's
right.
like, did I hear a bad pun?
Did I hear a terrible pun? I would like to join this. This I'm gonna let one of you guys kick it off because I did it last time and I feel like there was too much pressure on me, so I don't want that again.
Yeah, so I think it's now time for Izzy to start, and I'll pick it up with the lore in the third.
Yeah, we'll start with the least.
No, the in-depth
Yeah.
review. This is it.
Go for it, Izzy.
Played him twice. FF go next, yeah. Okay, cool. No, just played him a couple of times on ARAM. Obviously, got a quick sort of explanation of what he does. His you W, throw your Q, and E into it. I think. I think that's what it was. Whether I executed that well is another matter. I'm not going to go back and check. And of course, his ult. Anyone can use his ult. I think that was really cool because I was like, what did I do? But playing it only on ARAM, it's like you obviously got a really small space, so you're going from, if you're in danger, you're probably going back to danger anyway. So it's not that helpful, but it's still a lot of fun to play. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it, unfortunately.
And what is the verdict then?
It's more than enough.
Gameplay. See,
Do you feel like a god gamer when you play Ekko?
no.
Is there a champion that
Quite
you do
easily
feel like
no.
a god gamer?
That's a good question.
I first timed Poppy 2 days ago. I think it was a couple of days ago, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
All right.
So yeah, there's a lot of champs you pick up. Like you play them like, well, I suppose from my perspective, you might have played them for the first time on AR and be like, oh, that was awesome. I really want to play that again. Ekko wasn't that champ. So
Okay.
Can't
I
beat
mean,
them all.
it's your score, Izzy. It's a completely arbitrary, subjective thing. So if you go 0 out of 5,
Yeah.
yes, we will kick you
I don't
out
think
of the
it's a
call.
0.
But I mean,
think it's-
That is bad. You can
the
say
thing
it
is-
if you want.
if you don't like him, you don't like him. But then we're just
So
gonna
if
make the
on-
podcast really short and just look for another guest. So that's fine as well.
Bad guest, don't invite back. Absolutely fine. No, I think I'll probably give him a 1. I would pick him because I have a skin for him, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah.
Not because I enjoy playing him.
All right. We've had zeros on the podcast before, so you definitely do not need to.
It's
feel
not. It's
bad.
not 0. It's not harsh.
Wait,
but
have we had
it's
0?
a 1. In
Yeah.
priority, it's 1.
I think we had some zeros with LeBlanc.
Yeah, I think LeBlanc probably didn't get crazy high scores on her visuals because it sucks.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of.
Boring.
I can see that.
Same.
Yeah. All right.
Same.
So the 1, I can only push him down a little bit if I want, but we'll see how that goes. I feel like Ekko, super fun to play because he's very mobile, and mobile champions in general are more fun because you can move, which is something that you can do when you're constantly CC'd and everything, and you don't get caught that often with Ekko. I think he has decent presence overall in pro play as well for the time that he has been released. A little bit less now, just because the meta doesn't really favor him that much in the jungle as it used to. So he's going down a little bit on that side. And what I personally dislike about the champion design in general is that it's a low risk champion. Like he can go in and he always has that ult to go back out, and that is sometimes frustrating to play against, that he can just constantly go in, go back whenever you want, and you can't really catch him if you do not have the hard CC lockdown on your team. So to play him is fun, to play against him is not, and that is a little bit. A good champion design doesn't feel unfair to play against.
So is there, according to you, not enough counterplay to his ult? Because then you could argue that he needs to be played more if he's that strong and risk-free.
Well, he just doesn't do what the junglers do now. He can, if he's played now, he can still do the same thing with the ult. And that
But
is
also
what
if he's...
I'm not saying it's broken. I'm saying it's not fun to play against.
Okay, but if he is played now, he gets
that's a different
played
thing.
more in mid lane than he does in the jungle at the moment. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
there's
again, that's my feeling when I play against Ekko. Like,
we are feeling six.
I almost have him down, but he's gonna ult away anyway. And if I wait too long, he's gonna ult on my face. So I have not much options. But if you have lockdown, sure, then you can do much against him, which is for all champions except for Olaf, I suppose. The rule. But yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna give him a 3 because I think he's still really good. He's fun to play, but I feel like the kid is sometimes somewhat boring to play against.
Because he always does the same thing.
Yeah, it's I have the same feeling about Pike. He's the same. He just goes in, throws a hook, goes back out, and yeah, that's it.
That's
you
true.
can't really catch
He's
him.
way more annoying though.
Yeah, he can do it constantly. The ult of Ekko has a longer cooldown. That's correct, but it is the same principle in my feeling. He can just dash in without being at risk of getting killed, really. Which is, I feel like if you dash in, then there needs to be some trade-off for that.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, you trade off the fact that you use your ult for 0 damage, and your damage only comes from your skills, which is then effectively 2 skills. And I guess the passive on your W counts as damage as well. But I mean, you trade in the fact that you don't do damage with your ult, which, by the way, is a boatload of damage if you do hit it. So there's a trade-off there for him. Gameplay-wise, for me, as I said at the beginning, I used to play him a lot. He used to be one of my favorite champions. He probably still is one of my favorite champions. I just don't really go for the one-trick pony kind of style. That's why I'm kind of bad at everything and not good at anything, as opposed to people who play more of one champ and then say, I'm really good at these 2 or 3 champions, but the rest is eh. So that's where I stand gameplay wise. No, I do enjoy playing him. I do think there are drawbacks to his kit. If you, for example, if you E forward and you miss the stun, for example, I mean, you have your shield, of course, or if you E forward and you just don't even hit use your gravity field, you don't really have that safety if your ult is down. You have your ult has a cooldown, right? If you use it, then you're not gonna not do anything for what is like a minute and a half or something like that. I guess it's probably a bit more, 2 minutes maybe. So there's drawbacks in my opinion to the ult. As I said before, the fact that you don't do damage with your ult if you use it to just get away. And also I like the fact that you can just use the ult to teleport, just recall to base, quickly buy stuff, and then just use your ult to get back to lane or to the fight or wherever you need to be in basically an instant. So you get a free TP, and if you don't, oftentimes the ult doesn't really get used for the damage. So I mean, you could just as well use it for teleporting back to wherever the hell you were on the map in the first place.
Some fast shopping though, if you want to do that.
Yeah, but you open your shop before while recalling, and then you just make sure you just boom boom boom. You have 4 seconds, so I mean, it's I don't know, man. Be pro Ekko or no pro Ekko? That's the question. I think that was. Hate
him. And now the score. Do you love him or do you hate him?
To love him? No, I don't know. He's I don't have as much problems playing against him either, because I feel like there's enough drawbacks. You know what he's gonna do, so you know what you have to do to counteract it, I guess. But I do understand the fact that he's very, or can be very one-dimensional. On the other hand, he can go mid, top, jungle. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a 4.
Yeah.
All right.
A 4 before we go to lore, bro. Am I a poet?
Busting the rhymes.
Bust the rhymes.
No crimes.
No.
All right.
Not going
That being said, since I am basically the only nerd that follows the lore slightly,
This is true.
I will kind of explain what it's about in short.
Short and sweet.
Then you can say if you like the direction of his lore or if you dislike it, and then you can judge based on that.
So basically, Boba Joe is gonna tell us a fairy tale, and then we just say if it's a cool fairy tale or if it sucks.
Exactly. There once was a boy named Ekko.
Once upon a time.
Exactly. So, of course, Ekko, he lives in the region of Piltover and Zaun, which might be regions that you remember if you've ever seen a map of the world or if you've heard of it. And he lives in the Zaun part. So to kind of sketch the situation, these 2 cities, they are sort of on top of each other. So Piltover is the top part of the city and Zaun is the bottom part. And you can compare it to the rich part and the poor part. So in Zaun, there is a lot of chemicals, industry being made, which makes it that there is also kind of a toxic cloud. The air is not good there. And if you make it and you get into Piltover, you're doing great. And all in all, both parts are all about inventing stuff and creating everything. That's why you have skins in game as well as augmented Singed or anything, or Victor that has all the robotic arms. That's all from Piltover.
So is Ekko in Zaun?
Yes.
Okay.
Ekko is actually part of a group that is called the Lost Children of Zaun. And what they do is they go through all the thrown away parts from Piltover and Zaun that nobody uses, and they look for stuff that is still usable. It's called the Sump. and it's just like a big trash place with all kind of stuff. And his story is that one day he finds like a little shard of a hex crystal, and hex crystals, they come from Shurima, and they have immense power that can be used to generate for a lot of things. So, for example, Camille, her heart is a hex crystal. So if you see the champion, you can see a little glow in her chest.
Really?
That basically powers her as well. Same for Oriana and stuff. They have hex crystals with them. And Ekko, he is from a poor family, but he's really, really smart. And he manages to eventually make his Z drive, or what it's called, which he can time travel with a little bit. And once they're climbing with their friends on a clock tower, and one of his friends falls, and he wants to grab his hand, but he misses, and his friend dies. But he can time wind, try again, until he actually is able to catch him.
That's also very ironic's not the right word, but the fact that he time winds for the first time, I guess, on a clock tower.
Yeah, it's not like the first time, and it's not that they want to do it. He just misses his grab. He falls, of course. But that's the first time that he really needs to use it to basically save someone. And the story is that his parents really want him to go to Piltover. They're working really hard to get money so he can go to an academy there and get a better life. But Ekko kind of loves Zaun because he feels people are very creative and resourceful because they don't have much. So he isn't on the same page as his parents, but he loves them no matter what. And the story ends in it's his birthday, and his parents come home and have a cake for him, even though they can't afford it. And he eats a slice, and they hug, and he kind of rewinds that part constantly because it is just a good part in his life. And that is the end of his color story. He has other stories as well, but that's basically who Ekko is.
That ending is super cute.
Super sad, yeah, actually.
Right? It's also sad because, yeah, it is. It's also sad, effectively, but it's, I don't know, it's super cute. That's actually it's Sag, yeah. Oh, by the way, Bojo, Yoni asked how expensive the houses are in Piltover.
In Piltover,
or maybe in Zone,
I'm not even sure what the currency is in Piltover, but probably a lot of IEs and Triforces needs to be sold to get a house there.
All right, sounds cool. Izzy, what did you think of our little fairy tale?
It's interesting. I think the kind of scavenger kind of storyline part of it works with like his, if I think of like his base skin and like the splash art for that kind of makes a lot of sense. And the hex crystal thing as well. Like obviously I've obviously seen what's on Camille's chest because of the like splash art again, but I never knew what it was, so it was pretty cool. I don't know much in terms of lore, so like that would be like the first sort of story at length that I would have heard. But it was pretty cool. Let's say give it a 3.
She said hesitantly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get it's hard because you have nothing to compare it with.
Yeah, nothing really to compare it with. So I'm just sat here thinking like what I can sort of like relate to that story or what I do know about, and I think it'd probably mainly be because of like Runeterra, for instance, because they're really hard with like the classes that are used. I'd say is more prevalent in Runeterra than it is League, for instance. So that's where any of my knowledge kind of come from, really.
Runeterra has great lore in the cards.
Does it?
So that's where anything I know would have come from.
It's actually crazy how in-depth it is, but yeah.
Okay. Once again, I
didn't know.
I had no idea. But you shouldn't compare a story to see if it's good. That's a good point. You don't need anything to compare a story to know if it's a good story.
Well,
I think it's more to relate things, right?
I feel like if you make a tier list of all the champions, then you need to compare. Else, how
Does
can you
anyone
say
have
that
time to
one's
do that?
Lord's 5 and another Lord isn't? Of course you're comparing. It's
You could do it that way as well.
If
but
we're
then
not making a tier list, then it doesn't matter. Then you can say, of course,
we're making a tier list very separately scored from one another, and once again very subjective and arbitrary.
as well.
Lore-wise, for me, as I'm not the greatest lore lover or lore knower, I don't have a lot of knowledge about lore. They're all just, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, they're fairy tales, kind of, right? They're just fun little stories, backstories for the champions. That are they necessary? I don't know. Probably, apparently. It does tie the whole thing together, of course. So I understand that it's there. But that's a whole different discussion. This lore, the story of Ekko. The kind of like Izzy said, right? The scavenger part is cool. The fact that he has the hex crystal, hex core. What was it? A hex?
Yeah, the crystal.
Hex crystal. Which he then uses to do a lot of stuff with. It's pretty cool, and I like the fact that he's from Zon. His parents want to go to Piltover, get him to Piltover, and he's like, "Nah, bro, I'ma stay right here. I love it. It's where I'm from, and it's I like that part. And then the fact at the end that he's just like, you know what, he probably knows that he could do quite a lot of damage with, the abilities he has and the hex core and all that, but he just decides to rewind the feeling of being loved by his parents, which it's sad, but I don't know, it's kind of cool, the fact that he just sticks to his roots and is like, you know what, be glad with the little things and all that stuff. I like it. I like it, but it's kind of boring. On the other hand, it's like really straightforward.
That turns like
no, but it's really straightforward because there's no crazy like action or all that. Yeah, what Aatrox or I think it was Aatrox who was like his lore was pretty sick, and Silas the same thing with the chains and he breaks free and all the rah. So that's more action packed giggity Gucci stuff.
Well, there is probably more action in stories. Than
but I don't know about.
We're not gonna tell everything.
Exactly. No, I like. There's parts that I like. There's parts that are like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm gonna go 3.5.
Okay.
Which is decent.
Yeah, it's very decent. I like Ekko's lore, but what I'm always thinking is if I would recommend someone to get into the lore of League, I would not really recommend Ekko's lore because it doesn't change anything about the world at this state. Because whatever Ekko does, it doesn't matter for other parts in Demacia, Noxus, this, that. Then I rather recommend something that helps build the world around it. Doesn't mean his lore is bad, just means it's less impactful than other people's lore. And also, he just doesn't have that much lore in general. He has a few other short stories, of which I haven't read them all anyway. But just not as much as other champions have. So I'm going to give him 2.5. It's good. It's not especially good. It's not bad. Just average.
More of like a fringe character, basically, in terms of his lore.
Yeah.
Fringe character? What does that even mean?
Fringe character. Like... He's not like the main protagonist. He's like a side kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess that's true. That is true. We have made it through the scores, through the champion analysis, through the all that stuff.
The verdict.
The verdict, bro. The verdict is gonna be sick. The verdict is going to be insane. I'm doing something wrong here. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm seeing a score that's not possible.
That's not a thing.
You still need to turn it to a 10.
I think I need to divide that by, but that's not. Wait.
Okay, sorry, guys. Math is getting in the way.
Why am I retarded? Jan, help me out. Wait, what am I? What am I?
I'm not gonna intervene.
His cinematic
You want
was really
Jan's help, or you want him to answer that question?
both.
Also,
His-
Exodus, you're right. His intro cinematic was really cool, where he fights the big guy from Zon, and he punches the mural and keeps rewinding it. He has cool cinematics. He also is featured in the climb cinematic. He has like a small part with Blitzcrank that he jumps on bad guys in the air while they're frozen in time. It's pretty cool.
Bad guys frozen in time.
Yeah, check the climb cinematic.
It's
It's
the
actually
climb.
the introduction for the cinematic where Lucian gets Senna back. That event is right before it,
Okay.
which is something that they could not have possibly known 3 years before they made a cinematic, but whatever, I suppose.
Whatever, I suppose.
Well, maybe they did, because Riot is insane in like planning their releases and everything. Like for every champion that is released, there is a sneak peek a year before.
That's true.
That happens. It's actually crazy how they do that. But
That being said, we do have a final score, as I just stepped out of my stupidness and became my genius self once again. After which I have come to the conclusion that Ekko has received a score of 6.44 out of 10, which puts him shared 5th place out of 5, which isn't great for those. Which isn't great.
We did a great job.
Out of 10, and that is yeah, I was expecting maybe more personally, but he got absolutely bonkered on gameplay by Izzy, and
yeah,
he
you
got
got a devastating one by Easy, shoving him down next
When
to the
you ask
bear.
the non-league player to rate a league character,
Wait,
that's what happens.
you play League of Legends. You're in an esports organization. You're as a
but
Doesn't
managed.
mean I'm any good.
That's
Doesn't mean
true.
I'm any good.
That's true.
never said we were any good.
That's also true. That's also true. Anyways, he got.
Definitely never said Jasper was any good.
Yeah, I never said that either. I would never. Lying is a crime. Anyways, he got butchered on gameplay, and he got kind of like by Bobo Joe on his lore, which I understand, because my analysis was kind of weird as well. He's cool, but he's boring. Which makes 0 sense at all. That being said, he is going to be put on the list, of course, of the champions. Gangplank, Exodus will be happy to know, is, of course, still leading the charge there.
Safe at the top.
Still safe at the top. Close second, though, in Silas. So that was actually really close. We thought he would have maybe surpassed it, but alas, he did not. That's it for the analysis phase of this fantastic podcast.
Yeah, we just went in depth on the champion. Now we're gonna go in depth on Izzy's lore.
Oh god.
Oh, are you ready?
We're not going to
Yes.
score your lore, so that's
Yeah,
going to be.
We're not gonna put.
There's
you on
no
the list.
there's no tier list for the guests, in the podcast. So I'm a kick it off once again, as I did in the first part of the podcast. Turned into a Swede there. My question to you, or my first question to you, Izzy, take your time to let this one sink in really well. It's not that crazy. How did you get your start in esports? Simple. Let's go.
My start in esports, probably looking at 3 years ago. A friend of mine sort of started an organization and had no idea about sort of social media, covering it, or anything like that. I can't say I had much knowledge at the time, but I thought it was a cool project to put my time into, get involved and learn things. So I got on board with that. Pushed it a lot as well. I think the people running it at the time didn't have a clue. So it was a short-lived project, but it meant that I sort of found my way to 7 a.m. as one of the co-founders with Wonder, Vinny, and Yoni, and went from there. So that's pretty much it. It was more of a, oh well, this project seems fun. I'll help you out, and took it from there. But that's pretty much it.
And was it started from an interest in gaming, or was it more like you like to manage everything around it? Are you interested in games or not? Or
so the management aspect, I think, in terms of like managing people, that's not something I've ever been entirely comfortable with. But taking something on like the social media and being able to like make that mine and manage that was interesting to me. To sort of be not, I suppose, kind of the voice, but like, what is output and what people see. That kind of interested me in building that way.
All right, cool. And like you say, you're ending up at 7 a.m. there. You're at 7 a.m. for 2.5 years then, or 3 years, or how long?
Yeah, since the start. As I said, founded with John, Vinny, and Yoni, and myself. So been there since day one, and that, I think it's next month. It will be 3 years since we started. Which
birthday.
So
it's an incredible birthday.
We can expect something big for the 3rd birthday of 7 a.m. then.
I mean, you can expect some things. Whether they fall on the birthday or not, I can't tell you. But there's, I think, we're really lucky. It's something quite special that there is always something going on. There's always something to be worked on. Always something that we're not allowed to talk about.
Okay. Like give us a slight scoop, like a little teaser.
I mean, it's not. I don't know what I can really say.
Or something cryptic that they can.
Well, so we obviously there was something teased for 420 that didn't happen at the time. That still is going to happen. It's being worked on, and it will be ready in a couple of weeks. And I think that is going to be. I think it's going to be big for us as an organization and outwardly as well. So it's kind of already known, but it will be here in a few weeks.
All right, and if I want more info, I can always bribe Yoni.
Apparently,
sign an NDA, and then I know it's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Hopefully we'll get there. You've been at 7 a.m. for close to 3 years now. So that part, now we all know of this, the beginning of Izzy's esports lore, which is always a good thing. Now, as you are in esports and as you do play games yourself, and of course we play games, and that's where this is all based on. Personally, for you, what games do you prefer to play yourself? Maybe a genre, maybe a specific game that you like to play. Even PC or console. Of course, console is the wrong answer. But
mobile is the even wronger answer.
Mobile is even worse. That doesn't count. I'm a gamer. I play on my mobile phone. Shut up. Yeah.
What have I been playing? I think, first of all, when I first started properly playing games, it was more racing games. So I've had like a PS1 Gran Turismo. There you go. And it is still racing games now. I was linked the other day. Apparently, Gran Turismo Sport is going to be part of the Olympics. So going to boot up the PS4 and see what I can do.
All right.
Okay.
I think for anything I'm playing recently, I haven't really played much at all. I played a bit of Cyberpunk when that came out. Oh, I'm all blurry.
Your camera went blurry?
Yeah.
Where did you go? No, she left. Well, I mean, she didn't leave, guys. She's still here. No problem. No worries.
It's okay, we still have a black. Oh no,
there we go.
Fine.
Ooh, and there she is.
So yeah, played a bit of Cyberpunk. Obviously play ARMS with the boys a lot because there's always a lot of people around for customs and stuff like that, and that's a lot of fun. TFT, now the new sets come out.
There it is,
And
TFT.
play a lot of Valorant as well.
And some Rust. I feel like you're playing some Rust as well.
I feel like
Not
Russ
me.
is in there. I feel like
everyone else does, but I don't play that.
I feel like you're the number one fan in Rust.
Is
I
what
feel
we-
like you're being fed some lies somewhere.
I don't know. There's literally nothing going. I don't know. It was just a hunch. It was just a hunch.
Okay.
nothing in the chat as well. so.
TFT was called though, guys. So TFT's in there. TFT buddies.
All right, TFT.
Yeah.
So once you figured out how the new set works, you can teach us, because I still have no idea what I'm doing. So
I still have no
That's-
idea what I'm doing either.
it's good to know.
So there's a few comps out there that can be tried. I mean, played a little bit of it on PBE. Dawnbringers were quite strong.
They seem okay.
Played the Hellion set today. That was quite good. And Nightbringers, I think, were pretty decent too. So there's a lot of variation, and I think it seems fairer than the last set was. So I think that's good to maybe even bring players back that sort of gave up on it.
All right.
So you heard it here first. Rush and Force, Nightbringer, Dawnbringer, and Hellions.
And then
And you win 100% of the
apparently, according to Yoni, Forgotten
I
is going to be
mean-
your thing as well on TFT. Which I forgot what Forgotten does on TFT. Does any of you
Ironic.
Oh, that,
know? That's actually
I forgot what that does, but Yoni runs that.
I know what it does. It gives you extra boosts if you have the shadow items equipped or something like
oh
that.
yeah, extra
think
shadow
that's-
item stats for every shadow item equipped in your team and all that stuff.
Well, while we're talking about
It's lit.
shadow items and dark periods, 7 a.m. had a pretty
Wait.
rough split.
Wait. With this question, I have one side question. What's your favorite esport to watch?
My favorite esport to watch
Yes.
is League.
Okay. I thought you might
Yeah,
say
quite
Rust
easily
or
League.
something.
There was only one answer.
Oh no, Marble Championship.
Oh, that's actually sick. But it's a wrong answer. It's a wrong
That's
answer.
the wrong answer.
But it's actually sick.
No, it is genuinely League. Like I've never watched an esport like the hype through worlds and stuff like that has been awesome. And obviously, just watching our own team play, and obviously you've got MSI around the corner as well. It's always exciting, always great to watch. So yeah, it's got to be League.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Bobojo, but just needed
No
that.
problem. We had the cliffhanger now a little bit. 'cause of course, this is a rough topic. But yeah, 7 a.m. They had a rough split in the Belgian league. They did great in Open Tour, but then once they were in the closed circuit, it fell down a little bit again. What are the plans for the 7 a.m. team, and what can we know about how the next split is gonna come? Because I take that you guys learned a lot from last split, and that there are going to be some changes. Is there anything that you can tell us about this? How 7 a.m. is going to work on? Yeah, I think trying to take that number one spot in the Belgian league.
Yeah, I mean it's all we're focused on. We've got a clean slate on both sides, both team and academy. The team managers, Jake, Mick, Vinny, Yoni, been working super hard, getting in touch with players and obviously seeing how that works. We never ever set out to just sort of make the numbers up. Last season was difficult. People could see that. People almost anticipated it. Whether they anticipated it to be as negative or as bad as it was, I don't know. It was really weird being within that, because at the time, everyone's mindset and the morale within the team was incredible. You wouldn't believe it for a team that had been kicked down so many times. The morale and their mindset was insane. But that doesn't count for results. So it was a hard time, but we've certainly learned from that. So now it's about sort of picking ourselves up, dusting ourselves off, and getting a team that I think I think will surprise people on both sides, actually. Not only the main team and academy as well. That's a project that Vinny and Yoni have taken on. They're super excited about it. Obviously, in their retirement, they needed something to do, so they've taken that on. So I think we're just sort of quietly going about what we want to do, but really, really looking to surprise some people, and I think we're going to do it.
You do not have to answer who, but are there going to be players in the 7am team for the Belgian League that we have definitely heard of before?
He's fishing, and he caught air.
So I know that people when things like this happen, there's a lot of rumors. People want to know, and it's not a malicious thing. Like, people are just genuinely interested. They want to know who's moving where and things like that. And I've tried to sort of stay away from it as much as I can. So if I don't have the information to give, I can't give it, whether that's on purpose or by accident.
True, but so you do have the information.
But you have information.
But you do have it.
No, I don't know. I don't know much. It's a really busy time for.
I can confirm she has information. You're getting annihilated by the rest of your organization. She has info. TM for leaks.
Thanks, guys.
Why don't you guys just send us the roster like straight in the DMs? Like,
let's go
as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people be like, I've heard the rumors. I'm interested to see which ones are true and which ones aren't, and I'm literally sat here like, yeah, so am I.
Okay.
I know as much as the next guy, and the reason for that is I believe, in terms of our management structure and stuff like that, those guys have got it down. They'll do the job, and I can sort of trust in that. So then it's left to me and Yari, for instance, to make sure that content wise and outwardly, we're ready to show these guys off and get some really good content out there for them as well. So it's all work from every angle.
Cool. I'm hyped for the new split for 7am.
Yeah, for sure. It should be a good one.
As am I, of course. A final question from us, and then maybe we will give a couple of the 7amers, which is probably most of the viewers here, some time to cook up some questions of their own. We're not gonna go too well. We might go crazy on that. We'll see. Last question from us, or at least from me. If Bojo has one after that, then too bad. What are your personal sorry, buddy. What are your personal goals for the future?
Cool. I suppose to sort of make this my actual job. In terms of like my real job and my personally, I feel like what I do for 7am, this might sound crazy, is more professional than my actual job. So I've got to do what I can to make it so. I don't want to do what I do anymore. Like, it's literally, I do my job just so I get paid, just so I can do everything else. So I think to progress on a personal level, whether it's within brand, content, social media, to transfer those skills that I've learned over the last few years and, make it an actual profession would be my goal.
It's really cool. And I get the feeling that you say that it feels more professional what you're doing here than what your real job is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a passion towards what you do.
That's it, and we have responsibilities. You see that we get we have sponsors on board. We have partnerships, and they take work. They don't just sit there as a name on a banner. These are people that we want to work with, we want to create things with. So you need to make sure that what's the word? I can't remember the word. But things that you've agreed to, you need to make sure you're delivering on those and meeting those. So there's actually a lot more responsibility on me in regards to 7 a.m. and what we do there than I would say in my regular day job. So
All right, cool. It's nice to see that you're so passionate about leading or managing 7 a.m.
for sure.
It's really great to have these passionate people in the esports in the Benelux, because it's definitely going to help the scene out in the long run. So it's good to see that everybody's on the same page, and that 7am clearly has a very fun dynamic within the organization.
No,
towards each other.
I don't want to see the chat.
So that's,
no.
I'm gonna read it. It's 7 a.m. Wunda. Who is the best manager in 7 a.m. and why is it Wunda?
And why is it me?
That's his question. Who is the best manager in 7am and why is it me? That's towards you, Izzy.
Yeah. Answer it.
I mean,
You can dispute it as well.
Oh, I mean, I absolutely dispute it. I'm not going to pick favorites.
Okay.
It's done the thing again.
But it's you.
It's obviously me. 1 second.
There it is. Not only... Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's how it works. We're all great at what we do, and that's why for us it works. So I don't pick favorites.
All right. Yeah, amazing. I don't know. Do you still have questions for Izzy Asper?
I don't have any questions anymore. If chat still has questions, go ahead, shoot. It's your time to shine now, guys. And otherwise, of course, I'm scared as well. But we'll see what comes of it.
Wait, who's answering the questions? I'm scared.
They're most likely going to be towards you.
Depends. If it's a fun question, I'll take it. If it's anything but, then it's all you.
And if there are no questions in the chat, as Yoni said, of course, the most important question is still to be asked. But we do get one here from Yari.
Oh, it's a good one.
With a kappa behind it. So the question is, do you have a social media tier list of the Benelux?
Oh, we need to do that. That was something that was discussed before the start of last season with Frieslander from KVM. So yeah, I think we need to set that up. I think that'd be really cool.
I think that'd be cool as well.
A little extra for the 3-year anniversary coming up.
Just spend an hour or two flaming everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be awesome when everyone gets on board, and then the social media is gonna blow up, and then they all get better. Only advantages for this one.
I think that is gonna close to conclude this hype podcast. Before we go,
Otherwise, we go overtime.
Yeah, we're on a tight schedule. No, before we go, I really want to know from you, Izzy, which champion do we need to review on our next podcast?
So I thought about this, and I had the conversation with Yoni about it earlier. I was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to ask who I need to pick next. And
yeah, he's the
for
one.
me, there's only one champ, and everyone will predict it, but it's going to be Soraka. But that's because 1, I really enjoy playing the champ, and 2, she's kind of a bit more popular at the moment because of the set in TFT. So it kind of makes sense both ways, I think. So yeah, I had to give it a legitimate reason. But yeah, that's what I pick.
I'll write it down.
Perfect.
But I can't promise you anything. No, I'm kidding. We are exactly. That's the one we go for. There's it's gonna be Soraka. So yeah, if you want to see how that one turns out, make sure to tune into the next one, which I have no idea who it's gonna be with.
Yeah, if you want to know, you better follow us on Twitter at @shoutcasting.
Swag. I don't know why I did that. Anyways,
Wow.
That's terrible. Soraka is smoking hot. 5 out of 5 looks There was a goat like that IRL. And she's used to playing with bananas. Yoni,
Do we have an admin bot to ban this guy?
no man, he makes
banhammer that guy.
he nerf hammer on Yoni, please.
Nerf him.
These comments are amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Izzy, for being here on the podcast to make time. It was,
No worries. Thank
it was
you,
hella
guys.
fun. If there is anyone in chat who isn't following her already on Twitter, follow her at EzzyMotoGP. And see what exciting stuff is going to happen for 7am in the future.
Yes, definitely check that out. Follow Izzy, follow 7am, follow us if you really are that desperate.
If you have space on your Twitter wall.
Exactly. Anyways, I want to thank once again Izzy, of course, for being here as Joe did. But with Joe, I want to thank you once again for being here and co-hosting this amazing podcast with me. And of course, I want to thank the entire 7am organization for being in chat and being so amazing the entire time.
Boosting those views.
For boosting those views. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for watching. And that's going to be it. We're signing off and see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
You.